Finally, Lekon Adekambi has been sentenced to death by hanging. This was a man who wiped out an entire family on New Year's Day of 2023, all because they refused to increase his salary. For those of you who don't remember this story, because we covered it way back in 2023, around this time of 2023, this was a story that was all over the news about the Fatinoye family who were targeted and murdered. And we all thought it was political because the man was the former chairman, or he was working in a bank at the time. So we all did not even look close to home. And it so turned out that it was his driver, Lekon Adekambi, who orchestrated the robbery and the murder of the man, his wife, and his son, Ore Oluwa. After 2 years of trial, in February of 2025, he and 3 others were found guilty of killing the Fatinoye family, and they were all sentenced to death by hanging or lethal injection. However, there's something about this story I want everyone watching to know, because I just learned about it, and this goes to show you that you can be easily implicated in the big picture of a devilish crime that someone else committed. Because not only were these 3 people affected, there were 3 other people who did not directly even kill this family that are now suffering. One even going to jail for as long as 14 years for something that they most likely did not take part in. And this is how easily you or anyone could be implicated in a crime you did not commit. You got to be careful who you help. You got to be careful who comes to your house to drop what. You got to be careful, even in your job, who comes to give you a property, to sometimes even a mobile phone. All of yours that used to buy second-hand phones from people, you don't know that these things could actually land you in jail, because some of these properties are stolen. And when the people they stole it from were murdered, you who bought it would be implicated. Just to flash back the story, back then in 2023, it was said that the Fatinoye family were coming back from crossover night from the 2022. It was New Year's Day. Hey, Happy New Year. So they went home with their son, Ore Oluwa, their adopted son, who doubled as a maid. At the time we thought he was a maid, but he was the adopted son, Felix, along with his wife, Bukola, then the man, Kende Fatinoye, all returned from crossover night. All nice, all fun. And while they were in the house, they were attacked by armed robbers, 3 armed men who came with cutlass and guns. It was believed that the men wore masks at the time and they began demanding money. But somewhere along the line, the identity of one of them that turned out to be Lekon was revealed to the family. So they now know that, oh, wait, even if maybe through his voice they would have known, because Lekon was the driver. So this is somebody they've been working with for a very long time. And that was how they made they most likely, or maybe he didn't even try to hide his face because he knew from the get-go that he was going to kill them. The Fatinoye family were made and forced to transfer the sum of 1.something million naira into his account. They were robbed of their valuables, and eventually they were shot, butchered, bludgeoned, and completely burnt to death. Like, after shooting, stabbing, cutting, and using hammer on them, this human being went on to set the house on fire along with the bodies. And it was the house getting on fire that attracted the neighbors, who raised alarm, and that was how the story blew up, and we were all up and wondering what happened to this family. I remember the story back then. I remember, from what I can remember, we all felt that it was some kind of politics. We all felt it was somebody who he had worked for. Some people came with their theories that the man worked in a bank. Where did he work? He was in CBN. He worked somewhere where, he had access to money, and they say maybe he stole some money and the people came for him. So people had their conspiracy theory and everything was happening. His son, Ore Oluwa, and Felix were kidnapped. They weren't killed in the house.